Hello there. This is an evening ride on a different bike. This is not the Super 73 bike I usually ride. This is an Electra Cafe Moto GO. Electra is owned by Trek. So this is, I guess, technically a Trek. This is a pedal assist only, no throttle bike. So it's a little bit different ride style. It is a class 3 though, which means it tops out at 28 miles per hour in the top pedal assist. It's kind of set up like a cafe racer type look, but it looks way more like a standard bicycle than the Super 73. So it's a lot easier to take it somewhere and nobody pay much attention to you. And this one, it's also a bit quieter, because this is a belt drive bike where instead of having a chain driving things, it's a mid-drive motor, so it's got a motor in the middle of the bike. And it's chain driven instead of, or it's not chain, it's belt driven instead of chain driven. So quieter, less maintenance because you don't have to lubricate it. I did forget to wear glasses. I wanted to get out of the house before it got completely dark, and I forgot to get eyewear, but and I've got my Lumos helmet that has turn signals, so you don't use the hand signals as much. So know that you're supposed to use hand signals, but in my experience, very few people pay attention to what those are. There's nobody around me, but I'll do it just to show good practice. Yeah, so this helmet has lights on the front and back that will blink, or has an arrow that points to indicate the direction you're turning, so it makes it so people know what you're doing. Now we'll be going to go around the outside of Cherokee Park. It's a little bit different view on a different type of bike. Just got hit in the face by something falling out of a tree. It makes me wish I had brought sunglasses, or not sunglasses, just glasses, or the clear goggles I have or something, but oh well. It's pretty warm out, so I'm not too concerned about the weather being too cold. This bike does have a headlight and tail light, but they're not super bright. But the helmet I have on also has standard running lights in the front and back, so it should make me more than visible enough to any motorist. So let's see. Put in turbo mode. Yeah, but this bike's pretty fun. They can get pretty good range. Over the weekend, I went on a 26 or 28 mile ride on it and still had about 40% battery. And I wasn't riding it at full speed the entire time. I was doing a bit of eco mode, which is the lowest pedal assist setting, but you know, in flat ground, you can still reach top speed even if you're in the lower pedal assist modes. It is interesting riding this because the Super 73 bike has a very low slung mini bike, moped style seating position with a seat that is not very high off the ground, and it's a square seat, so it's not a standard bike seat. And this bike has a more standard bike riding position where it has a seat post and a standard size seat. So you're sitting way higher off the ground than you do on a Super 73 style bike. And this is also supposed to have a sensor in the helmet that detects when you're stopping and gives a brake sign, or, you know, acts as a brake light flashing red to let people know you're slowing down. Obviously, not being behind myself, I can't see quite how well it works, but maybe I'll use the 360 camera to test that at some point. Yeah, the riding dynamics on this are quite a bit different than a different style bike. And I don't know if you can see, like, way off in the distance, there's a condo building that overlooks the park. This is probably where I'll wish I had some type of glasses on, but so we're going around the outside of the park. And this is 100% not an off-road bike that you would never want to take this on a trail. It likes nice, smooth pavement. Yeah, but the park has been closed through traffic in recent months, ever since COVID started, so that's why you see so many cars parked along the side of the road out here. There used to be far fewer cars because it would mostly be reserved for times when it got overly packed. But now it's busy all the time. Ooh. Yeah, if you're gonna get a bike that you ride in the street, I definitely recommend getting a rear view mirror if possible, because it is quite invaluable in a lot of areas. And a helmet, wear a helmet. After riding this at night, should probably adjust the front headlight because it's pointing up into the trees and not really in front of me at all. Okay, there's a car coming. This is a narrow part of the road. And then I'm going to roll through the park. This hopefully will not anger anyone to the extent that it did when I rode my Super 73 bike through. And it's never been anybody in real life who says anything. It's only on social media that people complain. The whole "you're going to ruin it for everyone" crowd. Which, you know, if you're doing dangerous, destructive things, then yeah, maybe I might agree, but if you're riding through at a reasonable pace, not doing anything that dangerous, not really sure what the overwhelming concern is. Because the only reaction I have ever gotten riding an e-bike, which granted hasn't been for that long, it hasn't been everywhere, has been, if anything, people curious and just asking questions because they think it's cool. Never really had anybody angry. I'll take that back. I've had actual road cyclists get angry when I was using the bike lanes. And they were, believe it or not, going faster than my e-bike was capable of. And it boxed me in with one in front, one behind, so. And they didn't say anything, they just had a tisk look that I dared ride an e-bike. And cops, you know, in Louisville, Kentucky, they've never said anything to me about e-bikes, and I've ridden in front of quite a few. And I had asked the DMV, the county clerk's office, before some questions, and they seem to not have any answers about how e-bikes are treated. So in general, I think just don't do anything stupid. And the more it looks like a bike, the less likely anybody is to even notice or ask you a question. And also the quieter that it is. Now this is probably where I would have wished very heavily that I had glasses, because probably bugs. The only major downside to this bike so far has had a little bit of trouble getting the brakes adjusted. They're quiet and smooth on flat pavement, but on some of these rougher roads they get a little bit noisy. Not really sure a way to fix that. Pretty soon it's probably too dark to see much with this camera if it's not already that dark enough yet. So I won't continue recording a bunch of stuff that you can't actually see. Let's see. I'll stop right here real quick and bring this video to a close. So just while show you the helmet I was talking about. So this is the Lumos helmet. It shows displays on the back. You can change what it shows. It can be programmed to say words. That's saying the video zone. And then it has lights on the front. When using turn signals, it'll blink. In the back, it'll point in the direction. So it's just a nice way to let people know what you're doing, especially nighttime if they may not be able to see you doing hand signals. But yeah, so that'll wrap up this ride and bring that to a close. Till next time, see you later.